Hello. What's up, you guys? It's MikeyBall56 here with another video. So this is episode number 4. Right? Yeah, I think it's 4. Either way, I'll figure it out when I post it. But now that you have chosen your rod and reel, your tools, and where you're fishing, you need to think about bait. So bait is a very important thing, obviously, because pretty much without bait, you're not going to be able to catch fish. So once you know what type of fish you're fishing for, that's especially helpful, because if you want 20-pound catfish, you're not going to want to fish with a bluegill lure. There's a decent chance you'll still catch fish, but you're probably not going to catch what you want. Now, I'm also guessing if you're going for 20-pound catfish, you probably don't need to watch these videos, and you're probably just watching for fun, so thank you about that, or you want tips. Now, I've caught some decent-sized catfish, but my main style of fishing is bass fishing. Bass fishing is so fun because there's so many different ways to do it. You can fish with lures, you can fish with live bait, there's many different types of live bait fishing, there's many different types of lures, different styles, and you need some skill to be able to bass fish with lures, because if you can't figure out where the fish are, how the fish are acting, and stuff like that, you're not going to catch anything. You can have a bait that's going to work every day, but all it takes is one little change in the atmosphere, and you're not going to catch a bass on that bait. So that's something to always remember. Now, my favorite bass fishing lure, and definitely the lures that I reach for in my tackle box first, are soft plastics. Now, my favorite brand soft plastics are Gary Yamamoto Custom Baits. Now, Gary Yamamoto Custom Baits, you've heard me talk about a type of lure that they make quite a bit, Senkos. So this is what a Senko looks like. Now, they come in all different shapes and sizes, but really, this is the original Senko. Gary Yamamoto is definitely my favorite brand that I've fished with. Other brands work really well, but I've had the best luck with Gary Yamamoto on colors like this. This package got wet, so I don't know the color. But definitely colors like that, watermelon, pumpkin seed, things like that will work really well. And they're especially good if you want to cover water, a lot of water really quickly, because Senkos have an amazing looking action in the water. Texas rigged, Carolina rigged, all those work really well. But the first topic's live baits, because there's a decent chance if you're starting fishing, you're going to want to choose live bait before a lure. So, a live bait that you really can't go wrong with is night crawlers. Night crawlers are pretty much just worms. Actually, they are worms. So, when you're first getting started fishing, you definitely want to start with night crawlers, waxy worms, grubs, things like that on a small hook going for bluegill while you're still learning the ropes. That's definitely very important. You don't want to try and catch the biggest fish in the lake while you're still learning to fish. Yes, it's always fun, but bluegill are actually a lot of fun to catch, especially if you're beginning fishing, because they're fun. You can pretty much catch them all times of the year on any live bait, really. You'll catch them. Now, night crawlers are probably the most versatile bait out there, because you can catch catfish on them, you can catch bass, bluegill, perch, walleye, crappie, so many different types of fish will bite them. And then in the catfish sense, there's different types of catfish, like channel catfish, blue catfish, flathead catfish. Those are just a few, but all of those I've caught, those species that I've caught on night crawlers. Now, if you don't want to go out to the store and buy night crawlers, or no stores near you sell night crawlers, that can be kind of annoying. But there's many different types that you can for sure get if there's a gas station or a grocery store near you, which there most likely is. The first one is white bread. White bread works really well for bluegill, especially, or chum. Because you can start feeding frenzies with bluegill and then go and catch a bass or catfish, because those bass and catfish will be able to sense all the bluegill swimming around like crazy, going crazy, eating. So then they are like, ooh, there's a lot of food, so I'm gonna go check out what's going on. And that's where something like a Senko comes in handy. The other day, actually just yesterday, I was fishing, and I'll post that picture right now. I'll post that picture at the end of the video. But I was fishing with not this color, but a color very similar to it, and I wasn't even paying attention. I had a knot in my line. It's called a rat's nest on a spinning reel, bird's nest on a bait caster. There's a decent chance that the easiest type of fishing reel to learn on is spinning reels, or open face reels, and I'll post a picture of all those in this video, but I know that's not important because you've probably already picked out your reel. But hot dogs, lunch meat, white bread, you can definitely catch fish on those. Now, if you've started fishing and you're coming back to this video to maybe find out new baits or things like that, a good intermediate bait, actually probably the first challenging type of bait I used was Senkos. Now, I actually have crawdad in there, but that's another thing. Crawdad baits look like this. They're meant to imitate crawfish. Now, this is, they have many different colors, some bright colors that aggravate the fish. That's another thing. Color, when you're fishing with lures, can play a huge part. It can be the difference between catching a lot of fish and catching no fish. When the water's murky, like last night, we were under a severe thunderstorm warning, and we got probably an inch of rain. So the water is going to be very murky. That's going to be very important to what color you're fishing with. I'm not going to want to fish with this color because it's kind of a darker color. It's a natural color, but the fish are not going to be able to see it as easily. I'm going to want to choose something maybe with sparkles in it or a bright color. It's definitely something to remember. But back to live bait. Some live baits, like live bait, is night crawlers, minnows, shad, perch. Now, perch you're probably not going to be using anytime soon if you're just starting fishing, unless someone in your family is a huge fisherman. Kind of like how I got started. I got started bluegill fishing with my uncle, my grandpa, and dad. They all got me into fishing. My dad got me into the outdoors like crazy. That's another thing. If you like fishing, you should definitely try other outdoor activities like camping. Camping's a lot of fun because something my uncle and some of my cousins do every few years is we'll go on fishing trips and we'll camp. Or like when my family goes on camping trips, I get to bring a fishing rod, and it's a lot of fun because you not only get to be in the outdoors, but you get to camp, which some people may not like camping, but you don't have to just camp and be on the ground. You can bring an air mattress. It's a lot of fun, so I definitely suggest talking to your parents to get them to go camping, because it's a lot of fun. So, minnows, night crawlers, crawfish actually are really good bass baits if you want to fish with live bait. For bass, along with minnows. But something you gotta remember with live baits for bass is you need big bobbers usually, because there's a decent chance they're gonna pull, and they're gonna pull hard. So that's gonna pretty much wrap it up for this video. I'm probably gonna do a part 1 and part 2 for live baits because there are just so many types. Part 2 is going to be more in-depth on lures and how to fish with them and what my favorite types of baits, colors, retrieves, stuff like that is. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, share. Have a nice day.